Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 898. Hello, it's Mike Matthews broadcasting from Cafe Anyway here at the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcaster Valley. Today, it is the return of the much-loved feature, This is Interesting, where we hear about some interesting news that has to do with one of America's favorite drinks. Plus, we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
And Jack in the Box keeps you coming back with offering you free tacos every time you fill out a survey, incidentally.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I am having such a difficult time, and I just cannot mask it. I cannot figure out those toilet seat gaskets where this thin, tiny rice paper must attach to your planet. I mean, your hiney. Can you name the hiney-planet, Janet? What's your name? Your name's not Janet?
Mike's Daily Podcast.
My NSA info is off. Where's Ayn Rand Paul when you need him?
Mike's Daily Podcast. Yeah!
Ayn Rand. That's what I meant. When you need him to try and stop all this liberal injustice in our world. Still, Ayn Rand Paul has better hair than Trump. Even I have better hair than Trump, and I'm bald! Thank you. You're too kind. I still can't get over last show. I was not... Let's just say I want to thank you if you listened to last show. Last show you saw a very frustrated, angry part of myself. Today's show is a little bit more happy, a little bit more sprightly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, though. But, yeah, I discovered once you go to Jack in the Box and you get one thing. I got one thing. I got their Oreo shake. By the way, if you're not here in California or the West Coast, I think Jack in the Box is just delegated to this part of the country. The rest of the country, they don't have Jack in the Box. I think they've got something called Jack's, but it's not quite the same thing. Anyway, they've got this thing where once you go once and buy one little thing, an Oreo shake, they give you a receipt, and on it, my gosh, you can get two free tacos if you fill out their survey, which I did, and then I went back to get the 2 free tacos. They gave me another receipt with more free tacos on it. They're giving out tacos like nonstop. I can't stop. And you tick-tock with your taco stop, and you don't stop. Oh, look, who just walked in.
Hello, Michael Matthews. This is Madame Rootabega. And why don't you like the gaskets?
Well, you try and put it on the seat, and they always seem to fall right into the bowl, and they never stay there. And when when you try and sit down on it, it moves, thus defeating the whole purpose of the gasket. I don't like it.
And why is there a planet named after a hiney?
You know, it rhymes with Pluto-Uranus. And we just had that spaceship go past that just recently out in space. So neat. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, we are really happy to hear that you are having problems in the bathroom. You're so young yet, they.
Yeah, that's supposed to happen, lady. When you get old and incontinent. Do you know that?
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Hey, we got another pressing problem, and that is the 900th episode. I mean, F-isode. We call them F-isodes here. Of the shows coming up soon, this being the 898th. So, yeah, I gotta do something interesting, something big for 900 F-isodes. What should I do, guys?
Michael Master, you should buy a cake. And the Chris Pratt should jump out of the cake. I would like that.
Mike, I think what you need to do is get some guy, a real guy that actually sounds like me, to show up and then be on your show from thenceforth.
From thenceforth?
Yeah, from hence, whatever the British said,
Yeah, Mike, replace us. Do you know that?
All right. Well, that's a good suggestion, and one that I'm noting. I'm thinking of trying to get one of my favorite guests back on the show. I'm going to try and do that. Maybe I'll invite some people over here to the last place on earth where we have Cafe Anyway here in Podcastro Valley. Maybe invite some people over. We'll have a little party. Maybe I'll make some hors d'oeuvres, some delicious sausages from the Trader Joe's, something like that along those lines. What do you guys think?
Michael Master, I'm trying to cut down on my calories. So get whatever you want from Jack in the Box.
Ooh. Yeah, Mike, we don't care. Just replace us.
Yeah, replace us. Do you know that?
You guys could never be replaced. But anyway, that's great. What do you suggest we should do for the show? Please email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com, or you can comment on our Facebook, facebook.com/mikesdailypodcast, or on the Twitter, @MikeTalks. You can just, tweet me. Just say @MikeTalks, and I will be able to hear from you. We read your comments on the section emails from email and your calm and not so calm comments. And you can also find us on the internet there at mikesdailypodcast.com, where there is a link to where to listen to us in iTunes. Subscribe to us there. You can comment on the show there and rate the show. And if you do that, more people find out about us. We're also on YouTube, SoundCloud, TuneIn, Stitcher, Podomatic, Mixcloud, Spreaker, Player FM, Ameristream Live. If you like that seesaw thing I'm doing when I'm reading the list. And also I am on weekends on the country station Country Crossroads Radio, playing the country music every weekend afternoon. And there's a link to that as well at mikesdailypodcast.com. Tell your friends about us through our Instagram. You can find us on Instagram, Yelp, and Tumblr. And if you want to help us out too by buying something on Amazon, because you were going to buy something on there anyway, there is a link to that at mikesdailypodcast.com. And the PayPal, if you want to become a Mike's Daily Podcaster, you can get a personalized MP3 for thee if you would like to help us out through PayPal. All that's at mikesdailypodcast.com, as well as the blog, the Daily Podcast Picture, and all my past interviews. And now, the segment that we lovingly call
This is Interesting.
Wow, this is interesting.
You can love a dog even though he's smelly. An ice cold beer is worth the belly.
That's Daryl Worley and Beer Belly. Hello. Here we are. This is Interesting Stories that I think you would find interesting if you like. Oops, I meant Daryl Dodd, not Daryl Worley. It's the other Daryl. Let's begin with this little deal about BART. That would be Bay Area Rapid Transit. They are suing BART 5050, a craft brewery and restaurant located in Truckee, California, known for inventive and assertive beers like Donner Party Porter. Ooh, you remember what happened at the actual... yeah. You know something to have when you're eating George? What does that mean? I have no idea. The brewery made its bones, so to speak, with its specialty barrel-aged beers. This according to the Celebrator Beer News magazine. Among those is one dubbed Barrel-Aged Really Tasty, or as it is labeled on the bottle, BART. The brewery recently applied for a federal trademark and was astounded to be opposed by Bay Area Rapid Transit. Quote, "We were very surprised to get opposition from BART," said 5050 owner and CEO Andy Barr, pointing out that trains and beer are very different things. The name actually stems from brothers Todd and Kyle Ashman, two early brewers who put 5050 on the map to memorialize their brewery dog, Bart. He passed at age 20. That's old for a dog. Sorry, Basil. Didn't mean to say that out loud in front of you. And Bart was remembered in the beer's name. The matter is yet to be decided. Best get your Bart beer now, but don't drink it on Bart. Alcohol is not allowed. And two other very interesting things from Celebrator magazine. pizza and beer. How about pizza beer? A video bouncing around the interstate shows the making of the all-new pizza beer from Pizza Hut called Pepperoni Pilsner. The beer features, quote, rich notes of Italian herbs, fruity Roma tomatoes, and Peruvian cherry peppers. And a scientist and a fashion designer have a simple recipe to create the perfect dress. Get some beer, add some bacteria, and let the organisms create cotton-like fibers. Gary Cass and Donna Franklin have developed what they call fermented fashion, and it's a beer dress. It made its debut in May at Expo Milano 2015. As part of the art project Microbe, the team also designed a wine dress based on the bacteria's production of cellulose, the structural material in cell walls of green plants.
Whiskey's too rough, champagne costs too much, and vodka puts my mouth in gear. This little refrain should help me explain. As a matter of fact, I like beer.
That is the band called Laughing Hyena with their version of the song I Like Beer that I believe was it Hoyt Axton had a big hit with on the country chart. So if you like beer, here's another interesting story about beer. A new documentary about the world of craft beer entitled Blood, Sweat, and Beer is going to be, well, it's making the U.S. Film Festival circuit. It's already been featured in USA Today, The Washington Post, and The Beer Advocate. It was mentioned here at morningjournal.com. Features co-directors Chip Hidden and Alex Irvin, both 27, and they hail from Silver Spring, Maryland. It explores the explosive growth of the craft beer industry and the dramatic journeys of two startup breweries. And the directors say about craft beer that it tastes great, and that's why so many people are drawn to it. Plus, tap rooms are providing a great community space for people to hang out with friends, family, talk, play games, listen to live music. Oh, and the ones that I personally have been to, a lot of them let you bring dogs in or let dogs hang out, and people just love that, to be surrounded by happy little puppies with their happy owners. And they say beer is also typically seen as more casual than wine, which makes it a bit more accessible. Once you have some delicious craft brew, it can be hard to go back to the standbys. They are showing the movie across America in 35 cities and independent venues and film festivals. Oh yes, and also at breweries.
In some of my songs I have casually mentioned the fact that I like to drink beer.
As we go outside of Cafe Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast here at the last place on earth, somewhere in Podcastro Valley.
And here's today's podcast picture.
And the picture, I have no idea what the picture is because I haven't picked it yet, but it's going to have me in it somewhere because you have to see me because I do the show. It's named after me, and I'm narcissistic as heck. So you'll see that at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Oh, Michael Matthew, I am so attracted to you.
I must run. Next show, it is going to be the return of the much-loved feature that we've just brought back. We hadn't done it in a long time. We did one with Craig Morgan last show, and next show we're going to bring back the cassette cubbyhole to another interview I saved on cassette years ago. But it was a band called Shenandoah. They're still around. They had a lot of hits in country music. Their lead singer, Marty Raybon, he has been with Shenandoah for a long time. He left for a while, did his own solo thing, did a project with his brother called the Raybon Brothers, and then he went back to Shenandoah. So it's an amazing interview with him actually singing some cool songs that I don't know if you can find them on any albums anywhere, and it was just so funny. So we will hear that next show. Plus we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the engineer.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!